Hello YouTube, we're back working on the PT Cruiser again today. We're going to show you how to install 6x9s in the door. It's dark outside. Sometimes I like to work in the evening. Just makes things easier for me. Sorry, let me move my mic, probably covered it up. Again, this is Fast Eddie's. We're here tonight working on a PT Cruiser. We're going to go ahead and put 6x9s in the doors. I think they have like 6.5s or something like that to start with. But I put a new set in, and I put an amplifier in, and I blew them, but I didn't like how much sound they put out to start with. So I want some more sound out of the doors, so I'm just going to go ahead and change it to a 6x9 so that I can get more sound out of the doors. I almost didn't hear anything. It was like almost a waste to have them, it seemed like, from my point of view, having them in there. So we're going to put some of these in there, some sound storms. And we're going to see how it works. Like I said, I do have an amplifier. I will have to set the amplifier to work with these, that the right wattage rating. I probably have way more power than I need for all my 4 speakers inside. That's why you adjust them. So we're going to go through all this and show you how to do it all. I know the car's kind of jacked up on the side here, because we're actually going to have to do a head gasket to it, but that's a different video. Got my cart loaded down with stuff I need to work on this thing. I got a monster refrigerator for my birthday. Thanks to Ashley for that one. Thing works real well. Got it broken. Took 10 minutes to fix it. Alright, back to what we're doing. So we're gonna load up here. We're gonna open the door, start taking loose the panel. Once I get set up over here, get a light on and everything, I'll start back up. Okay. So here's the door. The inside the door on the passenger side. We're just going to show from this one side. I don't think that we have to show both sides. But first thing I need to show you is you got a panel, you got a spot here, and you got a spot here. You do not have to remove either one of those ports, okay? Neither one of those are something you need to take loose to get this panel loose. However, there's a screw there, and right there on the handle, okay, those 2 screws have to be removed, and there's a screw right there, okay? Once I remove those screws, we'll come back. Oh yeah, I'm not sure what size Torx, but that's a Torx bit, and that's a Phillips head bit. Okay, I got them screws out. Now we're gonna start prying on it. You need to get something back behind this door, right about this spot. I usually like to start here, but you get you something. They make, tools for this. I don't have them, but like a flat head, you just got to get back behind this lip and then get up in there and find you want to get close to whatever tabs are in place in here, find it with that screwdriver and then pry in that spot so that because you don't want to pry on the whole assembly, because then they'll break the tabs or whatever holds on the little plastic pieces in place. So you want to get close to it before you pop them loose. That's about the best thing. And then what you're going to do is you're going to get that whole assembly to fold out like this, and then you can take loose up inside your handle, and that'll stay in place. Your lock will stay in place, but your handle and your plug for your door lock, and your light. I think there's a plug there for the light, or that may be just a reflector here. All right, I'm going to take that apart and we'll go down to the next point. Now this piece right here just pulls off. You just pull it right off. So a little snap on that, real easy. And then we just have snaps all the way around. Okay, and it comes up there. And then you just pull it up, like that. And once you get it in here, you'll see you got a rod there that goes over to the left. You got a plug right there. Unplug the plug, take loose the rod with that little yellow tab there, and then you can, this whole assembly will just pull up out of the way. You just pull that whole assembly up out of the way. Okay, now one of the first things we're going to have to do is we're going to have to grind this off. Okay, this little extra piece of flashing is going to have to grind it off. Okay, use a Dremel. You can probably use some pliers and break it, because it's got a ridge that kind of, it makes it where it's separate edges there, so you can probably just break it and get it off of there. But I feel like it'd be better done if you just, you know, like Dremel cut it off. But that's what we're gonna do. All right. Now you don't have to get all the way up in there. You don't have to get all the way up in there, but you need to get quite a bit. Well, I think that looks good enough. I know it doesn't look the greatest, but it looks good enough for me. It's not blocking anything. I guess we could have went deeper here, but to be honest with you, it just looked like it was going to be more and more work the more you try to do all that, and it's not doing any. It's not going to cause any problems for it to be there. So, and it's still directing the. It's actually helping probably direct the sound where it needs to go, which is through this vent, through those louvers there. So the next thing is we're going to do. We're going to pull out that speaker and set up our hole. I'm going to make some adjustments to this air compressor too, so hopefully this thing will keep up with what I'm trying to do. Alright, thanks. Alright, we're back here. We're going to go ahead and pull the speaker out and go ahead and set up our lines here and cut out our hole. Just 3 screws, pretty easy. By the way, these are Boss. I don't recommend them. They burn up. The capacitors popped off. Pretty bad burn up. Alright, thanks, bye. So what you want to do is get you some sort of clamps or something, C-clamps or anything like that. These work best for me. These are my clamps for my hoses to keep the water from going down the, from going back flowing through the pumps. But you just kind of adjust your template here, and then what you're going to do is you're going to mark your hole with a marker, like a Sharpie or something like that. I got a paint pen that I want to use. Kind of like so. Just mark out your lines. Well, my phone decided it got too hot. But what I did is I outlined this, okay, with some, you could use Sharpie. I just used a paint pen. Outlined the inner circle there. That's what I'm gonna have to cut out. You can use a Dremel to cut it out, or you can use, you know, I'm using some air tools. So, but I went ahead and I drilled holes to mount this piece of wood here to the door. I went ahead and drilled my hose. That way, whenever I get done, I'm gonna be able to put this right back in the same position I had it in. Okay. That way it'll just mount right back to them holes, which I'm planning on putting, I'm gonna have, I have some things you can thread it into. You're just gonna slap them back on that metal. I forget what they're called. They're little clips, and you can just screw right into them. They take on a thread, so it'll hold it together real good. So I'm not just threading it into the door. I'm actually got a actual something I'm going to thread it into so that it holds it good and tight. But yeah, but now these aren't the holes that you're going to put the speakers in. These are just to hold this piece of wood on good and tight to the door, and that way it'll make it good and strong. And then once you're done with that, you can remove them clamps and you can go ahead and start cutting your hole out. Now keep in mind, you actually want to be on the outer side of that circle when you cut. You don't want to see no yellow left behind. Alright? Okay, and what I'm doing is I'm just taking something with a cutoff wheel. Oh, gotta plug it in. Keep in mind I am using safety equipment. Not using no gloves, but I don't know. But I'm using face shield and glasses. So this is the hole I ended up with. I'm gonna put the little piece of thing, the little, I don't know, wooden piece back on here, and we'll keep going from there. I'm gonna drill some holes for my speakers, and yeah. Now I countersunk my holes for my screws for this piece, for the wooden piece here, a tin plate or whatever you want to call it. But I have the hole now. Now I can drill my holes for my speakers, and go ahead and get them set. Like I said, I have little clips that I can screw into. I had an extra set. So I'm gonna be able to use the other set to set the speakers. So I'm gonna find out where the speaker needs to set. And I'm gonna drill the holes, and I'm gonna use those to screw the speaker into. So we have a good solid foundation for the speaker. Now to set my speaker, okay, found out the holes to drill for the speaker. I went ahead and put it up in place and got it exactly where I wanted it. And then I took with my other hand with the drill gun and just went ahead and kind of drilled a little bit into the wood, and then pulled the speaker out, and then went ahead and drilled all the way through the metal and all. Okay. Some people might mark it and then do it. I find personally that I do a better job. I get a better job, getting the speaker in perfect if I go ahead and I just put the speaker in place and mark with the actual drill bit. That way you know exactly where that screw's going to hold that speaker in place. Alright. Now that we got our holes drilled, let's go ahead and now that we already got our holes drilled here, we can go ahead and start setting our tabs here. It's going to go in between the wood and that metal, and what you can do is you can stick your screw in there, which mine are pretty tight. Just kind of just line it up. So I just line it up in the hole. I don't have two hands here. You really should use a screwdriver for this point. I don't have a screwdriver off hand here. I do it with a screwdriver. I do like to make my holes really tight, obviously. There it is. There it went. Then you just take your screw and back it back out. So that should stay right there in that spot, hopefully. So you get your other ones in. Alright, I'll get the rest of these in, and now I'm going to go ahead and tell you, I'll just go ahead and mount this, get it in here. Now, the small terminal is your negative terminal, the big terminal is your positive terminal on your speakers. But like I said, I'm going to go ahead and get these in here, get this mounted. It's easier with two hands. Alright. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and, I got my speaker in place here. Everything's done, it's mounted, it's tight. There's no give to it. Well, other than the door itself. Next thing we're going to do is I'm going to leave this moisture barrier here. I would like to have kept that piece, but it doesn't match the speaker, so I had to cut it off. So I just cut it off, around the speaker there. I'm going to leave the moisture barrier, okay? And we're going to take some, I'm actually going to take some floor, like the foam for your underneath your carpet, carpet padding, but not just the normal stuff that you think of, like has multiple pieces to it. It's all one piece. It's a urethane foam pad, but that's what I'm going to use back behind this thing to help deaden the door and take up some, make it sound better, basically. It'll actually help the temperatures inside the car too, where you run your AC system and stuff. But we're going to hang that, and then we're going to go from there. I'm just going to go ahead and hang it. I'm probably going to cut it off even flush with this. Probably use these as kind of something, a point to hang it from. I'm going to cut this back. That way this sits on this side of the foam. Same here. I'm going to cut it. The foam's going to go all the way back here. I'll probably pull this loose and cut a spot in the foam for that to sit. And then I'll just notch a spot right there for that to mount back. The wiring, I'll cut a hole for the wiring to come on through. And the same here, I'll cut a hole here and here. And I'll make sure to notch it for every one of these. I don't know if there's anything else I can say, but once I get done with that, I will come back and show you the finished product. We'll go from there. Okay, so we got it. We got the foam in place. Now it is spill guard is what we're using. Okay. But you see, I just made some little notches out for the holes. Notice I just did them loosely. Some are even tighter than others. The problem is with this is that whenever you go to put this back together, you can actually have too much pressure on these joints and actually just keep it popping apart. So you might have to come back and make the hole a little bigger or shape the hole a little different. You still want pressure on it because it's what keeps it right from rattling. So I did this on purpose to make these holes oblong. I didn't want to take all the pressure off those joints there, but I just in the same accord, I wanted some pressure there, so I'm just going to come back and change them as needed. And I suggest you do the same. There's a couple of joints over here, one right there, and also now they sell a kit that has this in it, which is what I bought. Man, that thing's expensive. It's like 40 bucks for that thing. It's like 35 or 40 bucks just for some foam. I imagine if I was to do this again, I'd probably just layer this stuff and hot glue it. I don't know. It's kind of, it really looks good like that. I don't know. It's kind of hard to say. Sometimes you just spend money, It does work good, that piece does. The center piece, the in-between part, like they have a piece that goes on the back side of the speaker, then they have a piece that like surrounds the back side of the speaker, and they have this front piece. Well, the piece that surrounds the back side of the speaker, is kind of wonky for a 6x9. I imagine for the other size it might work a little better. I think the one they show you for is like for a 6.5 or even bigger like an 8" or something. But for a 6x9 it didn't work too well. It was too big for the spot that it was supposed to fit in. And then yeah. But as you can see, it's hung up there. I routed my stuff through it. You can see this thing. This will actually hold in place. It's just not going to right at the second. But that can be played with a little bit. You can bend the wire a little bit, maybe, if you have to. But I think everything's going to go back together as it should. Of course, I cut a hole for that wire. I don't know of anything else to say right now. We're just going to put this thing back together. And if I have any problems, I will tell you. And the next thing you'll see is the actual door panel on it. Again, I do recommend you having something around that speaker to help push the sound out of the door. Otherwise, you'll have the sound inside the panel and it doesn't sound as good. But if you have something to help strike that sound out of the door, like that foam there, then you should keep your sound from a 6x9. You know, it makes it worth putting it in there. Without it, I would say that it may not be worth all this work to put a 6x9 in the door. So it's kind of important to have that foam around the speaker to help seal it up against the inner door. Right. Now, I missed this the first time around. There's two spots on this door that there's little, like, places that this thing lines up. Right there and right there. I missed that the first time, and I just want to show you that. Okay, after test fitting this, a couple more things I want to run by you. You may have to cut out the foam right in this area. Okay, get you a little square about that big, right about there. Okay, where your mechanism goes back and forth. You probably cut a little spot there, maybe. But that right there is going to have to be cut in half. Not like not you're going to cut the donut in two. You're going to cut the donut and you're going to cut it like you're going to half a bagel. That's what we're going to do now. I'm going to split that in two there, and we're going to put it back together. All right, guys, we're back here. It's been a few months since we did all the work on this door here to put a 6x9 in here. It sounds great. I really can't show you because obviously YouTube rules, and I don't really have a free video. A free soundtrack offhand that I can just play for you guys without a bunch of extra work. But I wanted to hurry up and get this video out here. I'm already late. I'm late today getting my video out for today, and then I still got to make up one from yesterday. So I'm gonna produce this one, and I got another one coming. So you guys get two today, and then you'll get another one tomorrow. So and another thing about what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a gift card, $100 gift card. I'm not sure what for what yet. But that's if we get a 1,000 subscribers. If we meet the 1,000 subscribers by February 20th, then I'll go ahead and I'll do a gift card. So let's try to get them up and everything. And what I'll do is I'm going to make a video that says, I'm giving away a card, and like and subscribe, to get the card. You're gonna have to comment. Everyone, I'm gonna do it is I'm gonna pick from somebody in the comments, but you're gonna have to. That person's gonna have to be. I'm gonna have to see that they subscribed for them to actually win it. So you're gonna have to like and you're gonna have to subscribe that video on that video to get the win. So please, but you got to, and also I have to have enough subscribers by the 20th. So this is just a little heads up that's coming. It's probably going to be sometime this week that happens. Once I get my hand on a card, that's whenever I'm going to do it. And I'm just going to give it away. Or I'll give you a, I'll probably text you or something like that through your YouTube channel and get your information and send it to you. So do please pay attention to my videos, start watching them, and get some more subscribers. Share my videos. You know, I'm gonna try to give you guys some more content that's good and shareable. I know I'm doing repairs, you know, mostly, so most people don't really take too much to it, but this could be informational for somebody who has a P2 Cruiser, just a regular one, you know. Just give me again, like my videos, share them, and give me some subscribers, guys. Thank you. Bye.